Hello everyone, this is Sensei Starman and welcome to the first chapter of Let's Play Less Manly in Lost in LA. Now, if you haven't watched my playthrough of Less Manly in Search for the King, you might want to go watch that one first for the sake of continuity. It won't really matter much because apart from these games featuring the main protagonist and one side character, they're completely unrelated. In fact, with this game, they kind of restarted the whole series from scratch, which was for the best. Typically, when you have a game sequel, they try and take all the good elements from the first one, improve them, and correct all the mistakes from the first one. Well, they did correct some of the mistakes from the first Less Manly game. They got rid of the parser in favor of a point-and-click interface, so there's no more having to guess the right word to get past the puzzles. And this game does make it a little more clear what you're trying to do, because In Search of the King famously had you trying to assemble an Elvis costume, but not letting you know you were meant to be assembling an Elvis costume for a costume contest. It was very weird, and again, as I said, if you haven't watched my playthrough of that one, you might want to go ahead and watch that one first, because while it will have nothing to do with the story, it will clarify some of my complaints about how they managed to fix some of the old mistakes, but make some completely and totally new ones that somehow make this a worse game while still being easier to play through. But we will get to enjoy, for a given value of enjoy, that stupidity as we go on. But first things first, let's actually get the game started and sit through the opening movie and the blaringly bad game music. I mean, even for 1991, this is pretty terrible, and it is why I will be playing this without the music on. Well, partly while I'll be playing without the music on. The other reason is that the volume controls don't work, so unless I have the music off, you won't be able to hear me over the music, which presumably the reason you watch these videos is because you want to hear me talking over them, so let's get to it. Oh, and I should warn you all, there is going to be some pixelated nudity at the start of this. Nothing more than a bare backside. I don't think I need to block it out because it's not like I care about the YouTube algorithm or monetization, but yeah, introductory kind of stuff. Oh, wow, you have never seen this before. A deceptively tranquil evening somewhere in the rich hills high above Los Angeles. The Santa Ana winds have cleared the daily haze that surrounds the city. These exclusive hillside estates were the glittering social scene of Hollywood's Shameless. That is, until a few months ago when LA's brightest stars began to vanish. Now the streets are cold and deserted, and the homes are dark and locked. Many have increased security and bought patrol dogs to guard their domains. But little do they know that even these precautions cannot protect them. Still, not all the elite have allowed this panic to rule their lives. Welcome to the palatial home of Helmut Bean, the world's smallest man, Hollywood's biggest new superstar. Yeah, Helmut Bean would be the world's smallest man you used in a rather disgusting puzzle back in the first game. Inside his mansion, Bean and his latest flame, LaFonda Turner, goddess of America's hard body culture, have just finished working up a sweat. God, what a burn. I'm so hot. And yes, as we can see, the graphics have improved, but the writing has not. Me too, LaFonda. Why don't you take a dip in the pool to cool off? I'll be there in a minute. And here comes the reason this game was made. Okay, darling, but don't be too long. You know how I hate to be outside alone. Relax, babe. The security system is on. The dog is out. I'll join you after I make a call to my old friend, Manley. All right, but hurry. I've got a surprise for you. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Let's see. New York's area code is... Yes, behold the best digital porn we could have back in the early 90s. Les, it's me, Helmut. Dark Helmut. And yeah, I thought that this was playing. It is playing. I thought I was having to click through this at first. Helmut, good to hear your voice. With the news of those celebrity disappearances, I've been wondering if you're okay. Clicking does actually make it advance. Les, are you kidding? I'm the man. I'm bad. I'm buffed. I'm the Beanster Supreme. Life couldn't be better. That's great, Helmut. I knew you'd make it big in Hollywood. But aren't you worried about the stars disappearing? Worried? Hey, I'll bet half of the so-called victims are vacationing down Rio. People do anything for a little publicity out here. Listen, Les. I got you a ticket to fly out for a weekend. How's that sound? Gosh, Helmut, me? In LA? Are you serious? Sure, I'll introduce you to some of my friends, or at least the ones that are still in town. Meet me at Venice Beach at the Pit. The what? It's called the Pit. You can't miss it. And suddenly I have a cursor, even though I can't do anything. How about let's fly on out? We'll have a blast. Les, listen, the dog is barking outside. I better go check it out. See you tomorrow, okay? Yeah, bold of him to assume Les can just fly on a weekday's notice, and yeah. Hi, honey, what was that noise? Helmut? Hey, who are you? Get used to that digital scream effect. We're going to be hearing it a lot. This busy boulevard is normally choked with cars that spew carbon monoxide into the salty air. Only in Los Angeles will a location like this become the favorite exercise spot for health fanatics. Although Les has managed to find his way here, Helmut is nowhere to be found. Okay, first thing. Thank you. Now I don't feel like I'm having to shout over that dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I was too slow in clicking on the roller skating babe there, but yeah, we now have a point-and-click interface. You drag it down here to get to Les's hand, touch. That gives us some command. We can see our inventory, a Big K credit card, People in Hollywood wouldn't be caught dead with this particular card. Les never leaves home without it. Yeah, this would be a reference to the now defunct Kmart chain, which was seen as a less than desirable place to shop back in the day, at least by the standards of LA snobs. And we now also have an LA map. Useful for getting around. Yes, this is going to be our interface between moving between the various Los Angeles neighborhoods. But we can already see that the interface has improved. We don't get any options but the hand, but we can pixel hunt around, and anything we can look at will get a question mark on it. Then we can click that to look at it. Nope, nobody inside. Yes, there's nobody living inside. Nobody living inside. Well, if we're not listening to the cheesy music the game provides us, I'm going to provide you some cheesy music. Anyway, the Venice Beach Shade Shop does a booming business from the lifeguards alone. Its best-selling pair of sunglasses are the Babe-O-Matic Blue Blockers. The woman looks guarded and unfriendly as she holds her child's hand tightly and talks to him in a low voice. Better leave her alone. Let's see, the ice cream place. Today's special, Fickalicious Marble Fudge Pack with sprinkles. The healthy lifestyle has really caught on big here in Venice Beach. The Holistic Sushi Bar, formerly Salty Sewer Bass, now does a thriving business with their new slogan, "Our fish meditate and feed on macrobiotic algae." And the trash can. About the trash can. Not for disposal of newspaper, aluminum, tin, plastic, garbage, rubber, or organically recyclable materials. Look closely. This trash can is stuffed full of newspaper, aluminum, tin, plastic, glass, rubber, and organically recyclable materials. We don't need to get anything out of here, but doesn't it just seem appropriate that we're digging through the trash already? Look at the street light. A photosensitive light that comes on automatically whenever darkness falls over the city. Les finds a small heart scratched into the paint of the streetlight post. Inside the heart is written, "Lou loves LaFonda." Surf Dogs. Surf Dogs, formerly Dinky's Donkey Hut, home of the famous sprouted wheat dog and sidewalk dog patty. Hungry Guy. This guy's been coming here since the late 60s. He usually buys 4 dogs at a time and washes them all down with a thick and creamy coconut colada. This hungry guy doesn't talk with his mouth full, which means that this guy never speaks. No need to. Like most computer engineers, Les is on a strict diet of cheeseburgers, chocolate milkshakes, and M&Ms, not surf dogs. And we cannot enter the shade shop. Well, we've looked at everything but the obvious. Let's look at the obvious. And yeah, apart from blinking slightly, this picture will not change. They'll just keep holding that pose and those smiles forever. Kind of unsettling. And yeah, you'd think there might be some kind of interaction thing, this being a Leisure Suit Larry ripoff, but this is one of the ways in which the game is going to get worse, because the Leisure Suit Larry games, for all of the sexual humor, at least do see Larry getting his comeuppance. Part of the joke in the original games is that Larry is a complete loser, and they make no bones about that. The joke was that you were laughing at how pathetic Larry was, and how he deserved every bad thing that happened to them in his quest to get laid. But then he changed over the course of the games, found true love, became a better person, and the games became more about him trying to actually find a good relationship rather than just getting his beak wet, so to speak. Les does not have that purpose. It just has a bunch of eye candy. And all of the puzzles which involve you dealing with these women, the whole joke is, ha, he's pathetic. But Les is honestly a good guy, and he doesn't really deserve well, most of what winds up happening to him and the random stupid deaths. This kind of indicates why I think this series didn't take off, because in addition to the puzzles being more obtuse and impossible, the general attitude from the programmers, they didn't have Allo's love of this sort of thing. Also, they just weren't funny. And we are going to get to see that head on with the bodybuilder babes here. Also, forgive me for not being able to do more than one decent voice, but my Valley Girl repertoire is rather limited. We've got Les Manley says, I'm looking for Helmut Bean, or, excuse me, girls, is this the pit? Well, let's start with that. Excuse me, girls, is this the pit? Yeah, this is the pit. I'm Christy. Please don't let the other one be named Krusty. And I'm Misty. I'm Les Manley. Well, at least you're honest about it. So what do you want? A tan and some pecs might not hurt him. And some abs. And some glutes. And some... I'm looking for Helmut Bean. Jace, where have you been? Helmut Bean, totally vanished last night. That's why I'm looking for him. Why, you a cop? No. Private Dick? So far. So, what's Helmut to you? He's a friend of mine. Right, I'm so sure. Not. It was the 90s, what can I say? Really, in this town, everybody's a friend of a friend. Right, you can't, tell if they're a friend, really a friend, or just a friend. Really? So, you really need a friend to tell if they're a friend, or else you'll be totally clueless about whether or not they're a friend or not, you know? Really? I think I understand. So, who can tell us if you're really Helmut's friend? LaFonda? Nice try, but she disappeared last night, too. Who do you think you are? What do you think we are, stupid or something? Starting to get there. If, one of our friends sent you, we might be able to help you out. Right, so until then, later, dude. Okay, so our first puzzle is finding somebody who is a friend of theirs who we can convince we are a friend of Helmut, and skating babe. Power skating. Talk to. Excuse me, miss. Don't bother me, stranger. Okay, so this is one of the more stupid puzzles. In fact, I barely would call this a puzzle, but we need to find a friend who will convince Christy and Misty that we are also Helmut's friend and that they should help us. We do this by talking to the friend, convincing him that we're a friend of Helmut's, and then we just mention, oh yeah, that guy knows me. And they totally buy it, and that's it. Anyway, oiled skin sizzles like bacon. It's a constant parade of buns and beefcake exposed by next to nothing swimwear. Luckily for these people, the blanket of haze over Los Angeles more than makes up for any thinning of the ozone layer. Drought-resistant desert palms cast shadows on lush grass that must be watered twice a day to survive the local climate. So that's the description of the palms. Sam's Cafe, featuring their hot and hunky burger. Their motto, why bother having good food when all your customers are tourists who never return anyway? One of the local beach bunnies. This girl's usually got guys hanging out all over her like a cheap suit. But with the rash of disappearances, she's pretty much by herself. We can't talk to her, she's just there to provide pixilated eye candy. And for those who prefer the other kind of pixelated eye candy, this guy's an unemployed actor, of course, practicing hacky sack and working on his tan. At night, he waits tables and tries to impress the female patrons by calling his body his instrument. And here is the first actual puzzle of the game. we just don't know it yet, but there's a news box. This news box has a very large variety of reading material in it. Open. A new issue of Popular Eclipse is right up against the front of the glass. Read. Beach blanket blackout. Shed the shades, dudes. The first Southern California total solar eclipse in 137 years will hit the beach today. Oh, yeah, I was reading about this the other day. Did everybody get that very important plot point? Kids. These kids imagine themselves playing for the Pro Beach Paddleball Championship. Talk to. They know not to talk to strangers, especially with all the trouble lately. And they don't come any stranger than Les Manley. Venice Beach, home of Hulk Hogan, Dennis Hopper, and Lance the Lifeguard. One of whom is actually here. Tanning Babe, about. Buffed, oiled, and sautéed to perfection. Can I ask you a couple of questions? No. Try talking to Lance the Lifeguard. I'm far too immersed in the Southern California culture of narcissism to engage in any meaningful dialogue. Those wrinkles will get even deeper if you continue to tan. I've had liposuction. I've spent thousands at the dermatologist. I go to Dr. Nick, the most expensive cosmetic surgeon in Beverly Hills. I grind through hours of merciless exercise. I haven't eaten red meat since 1977. And now a bozo wearing his bow tie tells me I have wrinkles? Everyone's a critic in this town. And that little shack is lifeguards only. Not that it matters because we can't do anything with it. Just a couple of carefree children building castles in the sand. Just a couple of Lance's motherboards. Okay, about Lifeguard Lance. Lance was born in a wetsuit, always smells like surfboard wax, and has sand for brains. That's not very nice. It's accurate, but it's not nice. Excuse me, mister. Whoa, hey there, little pocket protector dude. I'm Lance the Lifeguard. Good UVs today, huh? My brain is like totally fried. It's a beautiful thing, man. But dude, I'm bummed. Bummed? Look around, dude. It's Saturday. The beach is practically deserted. Why? Everybody's wigged out about the disappearances. People are staying home. They're buying guns, mace, guard dogs, motion detectors, hiring extra bodyguards, wearing disguises. LA is like majorly deranged. Nobody feels safe. Why? I thought only celebrities were disappearing. In LA, everyone thinks they're a celebrity. Can you tell me anything about the disappearances? Hollywood stars have been disappearing all summer, man. Well, who do you think is responsible? I'm totally clueless, dude. I can see that, but surely you've developed some theory. A theory? An analytical thought process requiring a painstaking collection of clues? Huh? Sophisticated data synthesis and intuitive leaps of logic? Huh? An idea. Whoa, let me give it a try. 1, 2, buckle, boing. Nothing. Nice shades, Lance. They keep the glare off the babes. Nice bandana, Lance. Thanks, but it's the ultimate symbol of coolness, or the symbol of ultimate coolness. Plus, it keeps the rays off my neck. Wouldn't want my neck to turn red. What do you know about Helmut Bean? Whoa, major buzzkill, dude. Helmut was a good little guy, despite the fact they put many excellent dudes out of work in this town. What do you mean? Hey, once the head honcho over at Paramount Studios realized the mondo dollars he could scam using Helmut for stunts on miniaturized sets, well, stunt work suddenly got real scarce. Wait, are you saying that Helmut had enemies? Let's just say there's a bunch of stoked dudes walking around L.A. Anyone in particular come to mind? I don't know. Come on, surely if you put your mind to it. Hey, this job is already stressful enough without bringing my mind into it. Look, I'm really worried. My best friend is missing. Whoa, chill, dude. You're just too mellow. You should try my philosophy. Acknowledge and move on. Whoa, sorry, guy. That's cool, man. Guess I'm just mega stressed. Everybody's hassling me about Helmut today. We used to chill together. No wonder you're so bummed. Yeah, I'm totally dogged, man. Maybe you need a change. Like what? Yeah, try homeopathic herbal reflexology. Already tried it. Causes me to miss the break. Have you considered technical training? Technical training? Of course, technical training has opened the door to many career opportunities and given me a lifestyle I never thought possible. Oh no, how did I catch rays? You'd be catching cathode rays 24 hours a day. Cool, what about the babes? Are you kidding? They lose their mind for a guy who performs recursive functions. Is that what they're calling it now? No way. Yes way. Whoa, thanks for the majorly mellow advice, guy. Anytime. Well, I should be going. Hey, wait, no one gives something for nothing in this town. Let me return the favor. Helmut hung out with the pump bunnies over at the pit a lot. Check out the action over there. But dude, they're real protective. So first tell him that Lance sent you. Tell him I said you're a major bud. Thanks, Lance, I appreciate it. More rock, less talk, dude. Now you'd think that'd be it, but because we looked at the Eclipse newspaper... Hey, little dude, you look familiar. Yeah, we can take this option. Maybe the eclipse is keeping people home today. Eclipse? Didn't you hear about the eclipse? No, what's an eclipse? Well, it's an astronomical phenomenon which a coaxial alignment of celestial bodies creates a partial or complete obfuscation of light radiated or reflected from the furthest body, relative to a given point of observation. Huh? Uh-oh, language barrier. Bag no raise today, dude. She's going out. Serious bummer. When does it happen? According to my 32 function chronograph, about now. And we can now, kind of hard to see the bandana in the dark, but we can take it. Thanks to the momentary darkness, Les slips the bandana from around Lance's neck undetected. Whoa, dude, who turned off the rays? Don't worry, Lance, there's a perfectly logical scientific explanation for this. Every few months, the alignment of the sun and moon are such at some unique point on Earth. Dude, slow down. They're changing the light bulb, Lance, so they'll be back in a few minutes. Hey, as long as it doesn't mess with my tanning schedule. I hope this isn't scaring the little pump bunnies over at the pit. That by way of being a subtle hint that we need to go talk to the pump bunnies at the pit. There, just as I said, light bulb's been changed. Catch you later, Lance. Party on, dude. And we do not, in fact, need to speak to Lance for the rest of the game. I know you're heartbroken about that. And yet the pump bunnies are still here, but we will start off by speaking with them next time. So, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you are so inclined, and we will continue the adventure, if we can call it that, next time. Take care until then.